all time, and I'm going to start everybody off with a shout out. Shout out to Philadelphia Eagles backup quarterback and the pride of Centennial High School in Corona, Tanner McKee. I know it's only a preseason, but he still lit up those Cincinnati Bengals. The Eagles beat the Bengals 34-27. McKee had 252 through the air, passed for 2 touchdowns, rushed for another touchdown, and he looked really sharp in that preseason game, in which Cincinnati did play Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and a bunch of their starters in that game, but still a great outing by Tanner McKee, who's trying to solidify his spot as the backup for Philadelphia.
What a great backup he is as well. Something happens to, Jalen Hurts, boom, they at least have something. I like it.
I do too, and we'll. I think he is going to be the backup for Philadelphia going into the season, but it helps when you go out there, even if it's, a preseason game, to have a really good showing. We'll talk more about the quarterbacks, and, even if it's preseason, you still got to go out there, you got to perform, you got to put up stats and make sure that, your spot on the roster is safe. That could be the case for Stetson Bennett. We saw him with the Rams. He threw 2 touchdown passes in a win against the Cowboys, 31-21 in preseason play. We're still waiting for Matt Stafford. There is a report that he might be back at practice this week. But again, with a back injury, I don't know. There's no certain timeline you can put on something like that.
No, we need to find out, is this real or is this veteran move injury? We don't really know.
And what's interesting, too, in that preseason game, going back to the Rams and Cowboys, they did the joint practice, right? And then they had the preseason game. Well, apparently Dak Prescott told the owner of the Rams, "I'll see you guys in the NFC Championship game." So America's team, if you're a Cowboys fan, they're already penciling their name into the NFC Championship with the Rams.
Dak, why don't you try making the playoffs first?
Right. So one step at a time. Get into the playoffs, and then
Slow down.
We'll see. Also, on yesterday, on Sunday, we had the Chargers playing the Saints 27-13. My big takeaway is this. Listen, I get it. It's preseason. You can't put a ton of weight in these preseason games, but if you were going to extrapolate some information from these preseason games, I'll say this. The Saints are not going to be very good this year. They stunk. And the Chargers are who we think the Chargers are going to be. They played great defense, including a pick six, and they ran the football. And I think that's going to be the same formula for this Chargers-led, by Jim Harbaugh team coming up this season. Even though it's preseason, I think we're getting a glimpse of what the Chargers really are, and for better or for worse, what the Saints really are too going into the season.
I couldn't agree with you more, Pep, because, there's so much they're playing against people who didn't even make the team. Yeah, but still, quarterbacks still have to make those throws.
Yeah.
They still have to make those plays. And even no matter who they're playing against, it may change it a little bit, but when you see a quarterback who makes those throws, who does the right things, who makes the right decisions, that's a good sign, and I think you're right on in what you just said. You're totally right. If they look bad now, that's not good.
Yeah.
If they look good, it can be a very good sign.
That's the way I take it. I mean, people are going to say, well, that's the preseason. But guess what, man? The Saints played a lot of their starters, and they stunk. They looked terrible. And the Chargers, even with their backups and, they were Trey Lance and, they were able to do it. Yep. And especially, it wasn't really their offense and Trey Lance, to be honest. It was the defense. The defense looked really good. So, again, going back to the run game, going back to the defense, the Chargers in that preseason game showed us what I think they're going to be in the regular season. Run heavy and play great defense.
And that's a damn good formula.
Yes. So, we'll see. All right. Also, some other preseason NFL notes. Shedeur Sanders got his first start. Actually had 2 touchdown passes against the Carolina Panthers. So I'm not ready to crown him the starting quarterback in week 1 for Cleveland. But again, even if it's the preseason, you got to go out there and do something.
Just like we were just talking about. Perfect example right here. Well, it's this or that. However, he did make the throws. He did make good decisions. Step 1 for him, at least, accomplished.
Yeah, we've talked about this Browns quarterback situation. It is an absolute mess. So why can't he be the starting quarterback in week 1? It's probably going to be Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco's healthy and ready to go, it'll probably be him. But why not Shedeur? You still have to go out there, even if it's against another team's backups, and make the throws. You still got to do what you're supposed to do. So he had an impressive showing. And then we saw the first time. I thought it was interesting. At least the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are they going to do with two-way star Travis Hunter? Patrick, I think it was like 10 snaps on offense and 8 on defense. He played on both sides of the football, and we weren't sure were they going to be like keeping him mostly on defense and a little offense, or vice versa. It was almost 50-50.
And he didn't look uncomfortable at all. It seems like he's going to be able to pull this off.
Yeah. So it's going to be real interesting to see if he continues to play in the preseason and what that looks like, to kind of give us a glimpse of how they might use him during the regular season, because he's so good. They're going to find ways to get him on the field. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see with Travis Hunter. Oh, and on that game, did you see that the kicker with the 70-yard field goal in that game, Cam Little?
Can you believe it? I mean, for so long, 63 just seemed to be the number. I mean, come on, it goes all the way back to the Packers kicker from the 60s who hit that. And, I mean, forever it stood. Now, for some reason, we had Mr. Tucker, of course, hit a big one.
I think it was 66,
Elam, yeah, I remember Jason Elam, a big kicker for the Broncos, was the first one to kind of break it. But 70 yards, wow.
Yeah, Justin Tucker's 66 is still the NFL record because that was a regular season game. But Cam Little going 70 in a preseason game, I don't know. Listen, I don't know the most about Jaguars kickers and this kicking situation in Jacksonville, if he's the guy or he's trying to unseat the starter. But, man, if you kick a 70-yard field goal in a preseason game, you're going to get some eyeballs on you. You're going to get some attention.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. All right, and let's finish up with some Major League Baseball here because, man, this is a beautiful time for baseball as we come down the home stretch. And right now, the Dodgers go into a Freeway Series. They're going to play at the Angels. They almost swept Toronto. And listen, don't sleep on the Blue Jays. They're actually the first-place team in the American League East and one of the best teams in baseball. The Dodgers almost swept them. Toronto took the final game of the series yesterday 5-4. But in that game, Shohei Ohtani hitting home run number 41. But he's still 4 back of your boy, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who's now up to 45 on this season. But the Dodgers look good against the Blue Jays. And now a big week, including the Angels, followed by the Padres, Patrick.
Right, so we got big matchups here. Freeway Series, and then I think we got the ultimate test. The Padres, we've been talking about this for years. What's going to happen when these two Hercules collide? We're going to find out. Is it the Padres' year? I think this is going to give us a little glimpse.
Yeah, you know what? The Milwaukee Brewers have the most wins in baseball right now, but you can make a case. You could make a case that San Diego and maybe like Seattle are two of the hotter teams in baseball right now as we get closer to the postseason. So I listen. I know the Dodgers aren't afraid of anybody, but I don't think you want to see San Diego in the postseason going forward.
No, it's like, are they going to stay hot? We're going to find out.
Yes, it's only 2 games difference right now. Dodgers are 2 games up on the Padres going into this week. Again, the Freeway Series for the Dodgers, followed by 3 games at home against San Diego.
Man, we have to keep our eye on this, and we will, especially when we meet up with Pep on Thursday. Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
You can get my stuff anytime, 24/7. That's Inland Sports on X, on Instagram, and Facebook. We're also on YouTube. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.